Get started with our meeting. Welcome to everybody that was able to come tonight. We've had a couple of things going on. Rob is not feeling well tonight, so he's not going to be here. And then Beatty Hartman's not feeling well. He was on the agenda, and he's not going to be here. So it might be a shorter meeting, which I don't have a problem with that. So, but let's go ahead and observe a moment of silence. If you'll do that with me before we get started. Amen. If you'll please stand with me and face our flag and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is our conflict of interest statement. Al, could you read that, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, conflict of interest statement. Pursuant to North Carolina statutes and the town's code of ethics policy, I ask each elected official before you adopt the agenda if you have any actual, potential, or perceived conflicts of interest with any topic on the proposed agenda before you tonight. If so, please speak up and let the board know at this time.
Thank you, Al. With that being said, we'll move on. Our next item is our adoption of the agenda. Is there any additions or deletions to tonight's agenda?
Motion approved.
A motion from Carl and a second from Jenny. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Next item is our citizen comments. If there's anybody here that would like to speak about anything that might be on your mind, you've got an opportunity to come up to the podium and speak. Ms. Brown?
If you speak for a group, you get a little bit longer, don't you?
You get 10 seconds longer.
20 seconds longer?
No, I'm just playing. You speak all you want to.
Okay. I'd like to speak on behalf of Bottom of the Hill, and I'm a member of the Heritage Alliance Project Board, and you see me before stand up and talk about the Bottom of the Hill. And so today I want to say that I'm encouraged with the attention that we're getting down there. I want to thank you for it as the town board and the town. Years ago, Magdalene Gaither asked for flags to come on down, American flags to come on down to the bottom of the hill, and they're there. And then more recently, Tamala Tatum asked for the decorative seasonal banners that you see around town. And there's at least one down at the bottom of the hill now. So we appreciate that. In 2023, we stood here with concern with Wayne Farms coming into the community. And Wayne Farms, of course, is now Sanderson Farms. And they showed us a picture of what the area might look like. And it's pleasing to say that they have been true to their word with what they've done at the bottom of the hill and the way it looks. I don't have permission to say anything about Show Concrete, so all I will say is just ride down William Street and you can see for yourself what it looks like in that community as they have encroached upon it. I approached Mr. Rollins when he was due to his position as town manager, and it was about some property that over the years has been unsightly on Foster Street. And it's dangerous also getting in from Foster Street into Railroad Street when you go down the hill and you cannot see for the tall grass. It's dangerous. And it was surprising to me, Mr. Rollins, to see how quickly that was taken care of. So that attention is mostly very, very appreciative. I'm very appreciative of that as a property owner. So I think if I transition to a day recently when I saw Jeff Brown, Eric Mendoza, and Cliff Myers, I hope I'm pronouncing the names right, that works with the Parks and Grounds. Well, when I came upon them at the pavilion at Depot and Pine Street, I think they were probably surprised at how surprised and excited I got to see them down on their knees doing some landscaping. And I asked them if I could take their picture, and they said yes. And I said, well, don't be surprised if you don't see it in the paper or something. You know, this is so good. So I just wanted to give a shout out for what's going on down there. And one of the things that has happened recently that I thought was very impressive was that Jason Imes and the Imes group had a big summer cookout at what used to be Marcia Studevant Funeral Home, and had cleared off the land and a bounce house in the back. And I do say that is a good thing to see a lot of people gathered there for a good occasion as a summer cookout. If you look at the property around, you see somebody does care about it. I'll give you one example, and that is at the corner of Neely Street and East Depot, some property that's owned by Ralph Harding. And then you start up Depot Street and you see another junkyard. And that junkyard is right as you go up the street towards C&S Machine Works. And I'm just really surprised that that kind of condition will look like that this close to the middle of town. So we do have our town ordinance zones and all. And so that's the only other thing that's negative that I'd like to bring to your attention and say today. But we appreciate what you're doing for us down at the bottom of the hill.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. So we're in the middle of citizen comment time. Is there anybody else who would like to speak about anything? Step up to the podium. You've got 3 minutes to speak about whatever you'd like to speak about. Just state your name and your address, and you're welcome to speak.
My name is Mike Shababy. I live at 201 Charleston Ridge Drive, right here in Mocksville. I'm here to talk about the feed mill on Depot Street and the environmental impact it's been having in the area. On any given day, any given late afternoon, I could smell that thing, whatever they're putting in it. I can hear the noise coming from the turbines, the dust that it leaves all over my cars, all over my yard. I cannot even enjoy my outside patio because of the smell. It's so bad. And that doesn't even take into account what those trucks are doing to the roads, not only on Depot Street, but on Railroad Avenue. Just the other day, I'm trying to make a left-hand turn by the license facility there off of 158, and you got two semis trying to haul all that feed out, and they're taking up the entire road just so they can make a right-hand turn and not hit that post. That is becoming a very dangerous intersection. They're also ruining the roads. Those roads were not made for those types of trucks. The railroad crossing is starting to be destroyed because of all the weight that those trucks are putting on that railroad crossing, and the potholes are getting ridiculous. I've never seen such destruction in such a short time. In a couple of articles that I read coming from just the residents of this community about the environmental impacts that this feed mill is going to have, they were all concerned, and rightfully so. One of the original articles that I read stated that the feed mill company, which I think is Wayne Sanderson, stated that they would remediate the issues if they became an environmental problem. Now, I don't know where any of you people live, but I live downwind from that place almost every day, and it is obnoxious. I can't imagine what the people right here in town can smell when that wind shifts and they've got all of their people sitting outside at the 101, at O'Callahan's, or even at the station. I can't imagine what those people are going to be going through when that wind shifts. But I think that the environmental impact that that place is causing should be addressed by this board. And I am bringing forth my concerns. There were articles of remediation that Wayne Farms had said they would take a look into, including noise pollution, air pollution, which I would say is probably the dust, and the smell. I don't know what kind of pollution you want to call that, but it's pollution. And some of the people in your own community had noted that those were their concerns as well. So I just wanted to state that to this board, that I've only lived here 3 years. And I guess you can all tell by the way I speak that I'm not from the area. But I think that this is going to become a further problem the more this place starts to operate. So I don't know what this board can do, but I just wanted to address my concerns.
Thank you.
Okay?
Is there anybody else out there tonight that would like to say anything at the public comment time? If not, then we'll close the public comment time and then go right to we have a public hearing on item number 5 on the agenda. Lee, I'm going to let you introduce that public hearing.
Thank you, Mayor. The public hearing tonight is related to economic development incentives specifically for SBA home. I'll remind the commissioners that the incentives that are proposed for SBA home to the Mocksville Board of Commissioners are also incentives to Davie County Board of Commissioners as well. They're taking this issue up at their meeting across the street. And as a reminder, in our work with Davie County Economic Development Corporation, our incentives are in line with a written incentives policy. I'll also remind that incentives are paid after proof of performance, not ahead of time. So, Mr. Mayor, if there are any other questions, you may open up the public hearing.
So we'll open up the public hearing, and then after we close it, I'll let the board ask you any questions if they have any.
Okay.
At this time, I'll open up the public hearing for any comments. This is a public hearing for a grant for SBA, and if there's anybody that would like to speak for it or against it, you're welcome to step up to the podium and do so. Not, then we'll close the public hearing and we'll go back to the board. And I just need the board, if you have any questions for Lee on this. If not, we just need a motion to approve the agreement for economic development assistance to SBA group project.
Second.
We have a motion from Justin, a second from Johnny. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. The next item on our agenda, we have several proclamations tonight. First proclamation we have is for our Smart Start group. I'm going to ask if the Smart Start ladies would like to come to the front of the room, please. They have provided us with a very special proclamation from Governor Josh Stein. If you would like to stand right over here, and I'll read the proclamation. It says, by the governor of the state of North Carolina, a proclamation. So imagine that I'm Josh Stein, if you will. Whereas the nationally recognized Smart Start Network has worked to ensure all young children enter school healthy and prepared for success throughout North Carolina for more than 30 years. And whereas the first 5 years of life are critical windows of development, shaping a child's brain architecture and building the foundation for the future cognitive, social, emotional, behavioral, and health outcomes. And whereas high-quality birth to 5 strategies and programs focusing on early care and education, health and well-being, and family support are critical to help children thrive and reach their potential, building stronger K-12 and post-secondary educational opportunities for them, and ensuring a more skilled, workforce throughout our state for our future. And whereas the Smart Start Network supports quality early care and education, preventative health services, and family support for children from birth to 5 years old, and the Smart Start Network has a proven track record in improving early childhood education, promoting healthy births, preventing child abuse and neglect, and enhancing family support systems. And whereas the Smart Start Network serves all 100 North Carolina counties throughout 75 local partnerships that incorporate community voices and needs in program design and delivery to ensure each community receives the support it needs for success. And whereas Smart Start's local partnerships coordinate services, raise awareness, and create collective impact across North Carolina for children and families, generating systemic changes to ensure the comprehensive well-being of our state's youngest residents. And whereas the Smart Start Network recognizes and supports early childhood educators and providers as the essential workforce behind the workforce and people who play as an essential role in helping children and families thrive and in growing North Carolina's economy. Now, therefore, I, Josh Stein, Governor of the State of North Carolina, do hereby proclaim September 2025 as Smart Start Month in North Carolina and commend its observance to all citizens. Congratulations. Would you guys like to say anything, or?
No, thank you very much for all the support that we get from the town and the county for Smart Start and our earliest learners. We appreciate you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So we have 4 other proclamations that I will not be reading tonight. I'll just let them be entered into the minutes that we observe the proclamation for Constitution Week, a proclamation for Family Promise of Davie County, a proclamation for 9/11 Day of Remembrance, and a proclamation for Founding Fathers Faith Awareness Month. So that can be entered into our minutes. And thank you for coming out tonight, ladies, and receiving that proclamation. Y'all have a good night. Sheriff Hartman was scheduled to speak tonight, as you can see on the agenda, but that will be moved to next month. We're moving right along. We have a consent agenda, which will be our minutes and financials from last month. I just need a motion to adopt. Motion from Jeff and a second from Carl. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Passes. There's no new business, old business. Going into new business, our first item is to consider an addendum to the interlocal agreement between Mocksville and Davie County Sheriff's Office for additional law enforcement services to the town. Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. You have in your agenda packet on page 60 a memo put together for your consideration that talks about a recommendation from the Sheriff's Department to install additional flock cameras that they have assisted their efforts and investigations of theft and stolen vehicles and traffic complaints. We did have a discussion that rather than the town purchasing the cameras, the county would actually purchase them. The Sheriff's Department would purchase them and treat them as their own equipment. Each camera is $3,000 per year. That's an all-in price, including the maintenance, wireless signal, and then data storage for the cloud. And then, of course, I put the proposed camera locations on that memo as well. So I'm happy to entertain any questions that you may have. I do know that the town of Bermuda Run already has this same type of arrangement with the sheriff's office as well.
Okay. Any questions for Lee about the flock cameras or anything regarding this additional money in the interlocal agreement? If not, we just need a motion to approve the addendum.
So moved.
Motion from Johnny Fry. Second from Jenny. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Item number B is to consider an interlocal agreement for the supply of potable water between the town of Mocksville and Davie County. Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. I think this agreement has been vetted for even before I came aboard in March. I think we have a good agreement, again, looking at a February date in which we would begin the process to decommission our current water treatment plant and purchase bulk water from Davie County. I think in your wisdom, you made the right decision in partnering with Davie County on that water purchase. as a cost-effective mechanism rather than trying to build a brand-new water plant for 2,900 customers.
Any questions for Lee on this?
Motion to approve.
A motion from Carl to approve,
Second.
second from Justin. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Item number C, consider Hollingsworth 3 parcels donation agreement. Lee?
Thank you, Mayor. The purpose for the donation agreement, the town needed easements on Hollingsworth properties in order to run a water line to the new to-be elevated water tank. And the agreement was that there would be a donation, the town would be willing to pay the property taxes for 2025, and if I did my math correct on that, the property taxes are $1,697.25. So this is just sort of buttoning up what has taken a bit of time to consummate.
Any questions for Lee on this? So we need a motion to approve the Hollingsworth 3 parcel donation agreement. A motion from Justin, a second from Johnny Fry. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Item number D, consider the agreement for professional services between the town of Mocksville and Willis Engineers for the north elevated water tank and Madison Road booster pump station improvements. Lee?
Mayor Chuck Willis with Willis Engineering is here. Chuck, I'll just ask you to just explain the need for this agreement from your firm.
So thank you for having me. Last time I stood here, we talked about the shuffling of money from project to project, and the residual money that was left over was several $100,000 that we were going to allocate towards improvements at the booster pump station located on Madison Road and get all that stuff back to like new condition. This is the engineering services agreement for me to go spend your money.
Okay.
Basically to design those improvements and get a contractor in there to do all that work. So that's what this is about. Hopefully we've finished shuffling money now.
Any questions for Chuck Willis?
Motion to approve.
Motion from Justin, a second from Jenny Stevenson. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
Item number E, consider reversing a budget amendment. Lee?
Thank you, Mayor. Lynn and I talked, and I mentioned to you in my update a couple of weeks ago, with the state-directed grant monies, I want to make sure that we don't put ourselves in a position in which we're scrambling to try to allocate that money, because June 30th is sort of the drop-dead date on that. I also mentioned to you that with our sidewalk connectivity project, that once we go to bid that project and we know what that number is, I'll probably come to you to utilize the state-directed grant for that money as well. Any type of potential real estate actions that we may take as a town for perhaps the Energy United parcels, then we can come to you to look at a fund balance appropriation for that as necessary.
Okay. Any questions for Lee on this?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion from Justin, second from Carl. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? And finally, item number F, consider awarding and approving an agreement with Benchmark CMR to update comprehensive plan and develop downtown master plan. Lee?
Thank you, Mayor. I was pleased that we received 8 submittals from planning firms when we put our request for proposals out. 1, to update the current comprehensive plan, and then 2, to create a new downtown master plan. And for these to be able to parallel together, I asked our planning board chair, Clint Junker, our director of community development, Jeanette Pitts, and then Johnny Easter, director of planning and zoning for Davie County, to help me to vet those. All of them without my input, which I wanted no input, came to the conclusion that Benchmark met the need and stayed within our budget at just under $98,000. So I personally have worked with Benchmark in Bermuda Run. Thank you, Al, for double checking the agreement. We've added a couple of things just to ensure that, you know, we're going to get our money's worth on it. So I would ask for consideration to approve the agreement with Benchmark and us begin that process to update the comp plan and start our downtown master plan.
So once that's approved, what kind of dates are you looking at? How far out is it?
Within the RFP, we looked at 12 months. And so we would probably, I'm going to ask for grace, we probably look at 12 months from November or December. But it would take about that long because we are asking for multiple opportunities for public input and
They
in
would like to
multiple
be
ways.
EU property as well.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, any other questions for Lee on this? Okay, if not, we just need a motion to award and approve the agreement with Benchmark. Motion from Johnny Fry.
Second.
Second from Justin. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? And that passes. That's all of our business tonight. We are, if we have any communications from our town attorney. Al, did you have anything?
I'm good, Mayor, thank you.
Yes, sir. Town manager, Lee.
Just one quick item for our sidewalk connectivity project. We should have 95% design complete by the end of this month. We're looking at right-of-way plans by the end of October. The goal will be to have a bid package in December and to advertise for those two projects in January. So we're moving as quickly as we can. That's all I've got unless there are questions for me.
So, the mast arm poles, do you know when they'll move those lights over?
I don't have a specific date for that. But I'm hoping within the next month.
Okay.
And NCDOT will come back in and concrete those areas that they've torn up.
Any questions for Lee? If not, Jenny, did you have anything?
No.
Oh, Justin?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, everybody's good tonight. We'll pray that Rob heals up and comes back next week. And I know we've got lots of things coming up this fall. Jeanette's got lots of things planned. There's something about a staff picnic coming up in October. Make sure you add that to your calendar. We do have the need to go into a closed session tonight. I'm gonna ask Carl to make that motion.
Sure, make a motion to enter into a closed session per NCGS 143-318.11, bracket A3 and 6 to discuss personnel.
So we have a motion to go into closed session. Just need a second. Johnny Fry, all those in favor say aye. Thank you. And staff is welcome in session. I just need a motion to adjourn. Motion from Justin, second from Jenny. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you all.